K1037 aims to bring Kahnawà an informative, community-oriented, and diverse talk show. To ensure a wide range of opinions, K1037 reserves the right to screen calls. Guests' opinions are not necessarily those of the radio station or its management. Now, tewa taran. All of us are talking on the Party Line Talk Show on K1037.
You're listening to K103.7 tewa taran. I'm your host, Kawineta Peggy Mayo Stand-Up. And today in our studio, we have two young, beautiful women, Keisha Goodleaf and Belle Phillips, and of course, handsome Paul at the desk. And what we are doing today, we are going to be talking about the Kahnawà Summer Student Program, Employment Program, and it's from tewa.ca. And basically what they're talking about is about all the jobs that will become available during the summer and how they will apply for them and what will be available and where they will know where to go if it's going to be online to submit your application or by calling or going to the office, because I know the office is open now. So Keisha, would you like to start as you're the head person?
Sure. So my name is Keisha Goodleaf and I'm the program manager at tewa.ca. So the Kahnawà Summer Student Employment Program falls under my position. So this program has been offered by tewa.ca for over 20 years. And the objective of the program is really to encourage our youth to stay in school and pursue post-secondary education. So by working a summer job, it prepares the student for the job market by providing quality opportunities to explore career options and develop life and work skills. So the way the KSSEP works is that tewa.ca covers 80% of the approved project costs, and the employer is responsible for covering the other 20%. So the project costs is the wage subsidy for the student along with MERCs, so that's mandatory employment-related costs, if the employer does pay into that. If they don't pay into that, what tewa.ca does is we cover the MSI for all students in all positions.
Yeah, so the eligibility criteria for the employer, so they must have someone to supervise the students throughout the summer employment. The employer must be able to contribute 20% of the approved projected cost. So that's what Keisha just mentioned. We pay 80, so the employer is responsible for paying the remaining 20%. And they also must be willing to conduct job interviews with potential candidates.
And Keisha, what since you have all of that, and like this year, for instance, like I know in the past 2 years we were hit very hard with the COVID, and I do know that there were still jobs available. But this year, do you see it changing because of the fact that a lot of the restrictions have lifted?
Well, actually, last year, it wasn't that big of a difference. I mean, we still got the same amount of applications that we did in previous years. It was actually 2 years ago when COVID had first hit that we seen a drop in applicants and applications from employers as well. But last year was pretty normal, so we're expecting hopefully 100% normal this year now that restrictions are going to be lifted and businesses are going to be able to operate as usual again. So we're hoping that it'll be back to our normal KSSEP.
Okay, that's great. And also, like with the right now, do you know how many employers are participating in this program, or is it just you're just announcing it now?
Well, we just opened applications last week. So far, I've received 9 employer applications to date, but we have a lot coming in daily. So I'm expecting for us to receive a lot more by our April 8th deadline. So the deadline for employers to submit their applications is April 8th at 4 p.m.
Okay.
So the way that they can do that is we encourage them to fill out the online employer application form. So this can be found on our tewa.ca website at www.tewa.ca/KSSEP. So the employer guidelines can also be found on our tewa.ca website under the KSSEP tab. And I strongly encourage employers to take the time to read through them because we have all the information there that they need to know. And in addition to the application form, we also require a job posting that has all of the details of the job, what the possible work hours might be, because this is actually what gets posted to our tewa website when we post all the KSSEP jobs after they're approved. And we also require a work plan for the summer position that the business is applying for. So this just gives us a quick outline of what their work measure will look like throughout the summer, just to make sure that we know that the employer usually spends the first week or two training, and then just to see that we know that they have a plan for the student and they actually have duties and responsibilities for them to do while they're there for their the duration of their work.
Also, Belle, what is it like? I know you work hand in hand together with this.
Yeah.
And once the student or they apply for it now, what is your position? Like, what happens after that when they start applying for the jobs?
Yeah, so they have to apply with tewa.ca online at the same website. So I'll repeat it, www.tewa.ca. And there's a online student application, so they would fill that out, and that gets sent to me directly. And then possibly we will be hiring a youth programs assistant. So that would be more of like their position, but for the time being, it will be my responsibility. And through that, that gives us all the information, and they also have to submit their resume to us. And so I just take all the information, I have it. I have to verify that they're eligible for the program, because we do have certain requirements, such as being on the Kahnawà registry list, being in school. So whether it's high school, or post-secondary, and now we're also including vocational studies to still encourage students to do something after high school, and just stuff like that. And then they would apply directly to the jobs once they're posted, and the employer would kind of let us know, okay, here is the list of students that apply to our job, are they eligible? And then I would verify yes or no, and then we kind of just go from there, and then they would select their student.
So once the jobs get posted and students see it, whoever it is out there looking for a job, they have to apply to tewa rather, or do they go directly to the employer?
Well, the way it works is, so they have to register with us first,
okay.
Just so we can ensure that they're eligible to participate in the program. And then from there, they go about applying directly with the employers who they wish to apply with for the summer job.
And what about the successes of the program? Because I know for a fact that, well, I can't say I know for a fact of many, but I know of some that have started off as with summer student jobs, and then they continue their education, and they're so excited because of the fact that they've earned money during the summertime, and it's like, oh boy, I can make this money, so I'm going to continue. And I want to get a greater education because I want to make more money. And it's not just a question of making more money. I think it's a question of being perhaps self-sufficient, that they don't have to be begging for allowance or whatever the case is, and that they can stand on their own 2 feet. And I think that's something really great.
Yeah, for sure. That's something that students definitely learn from participating in the program. And myself and Belle are actually, we participated in KSSEP for a few years as well while we were in school. And we managed to get great jobs from it. I managed to work at tewa.ca as well during the summer. Belle also had the opportunity, and we're both here now. So it definitely opens the doors for a lot of opportunities for students. It also offers them the opportunity to network with future employers, to gain work experience that they can later put on their resume when it comes time to applying for jobs once they're finished school. And it gives them the opportunity to participate in a summer job, that something that might actually interest them outside of their what they're going to school for. But we also have a Bring Your Own Employer and Bring Your Own Student initiative. So this is something that's really cool because it's designed to help the students gain the type of summer work experience that's best suited for and complements their field of study. So we encourage students to begin networking with employers early who they think they might be interested in working for. So what they can do is they can actually reach out to an employer, encourage them to apply to the program, so that hopefully they would be approved for a KSSEP position. And then the employer and the student would pretty much already be a match at that point. And it also welcomes employers to bring their own student. So, for example, some employers might already have a particular student in mind for a summer position. Maybe they know they might be going to school in a certain program or field of study. They're looking to recruit them in the future when they're done school. So this program, through the Bring Your Own Employer Student Initiative, it gives them the opportunity to recruit this student in the summer. So the employer would just have to simply indicate the student's name on their application form. The form does ask if it's a bring your own employer, bring your own student application, and they would just indicate the student's name in the field there if that's the case.
Well, that sounds really interesting because of the fact that perhaps some employer, maybe they're dealing with IT, whatever it may be, and there's a student that's going in and specializing in that. So I think it works hand in hand. It's great. And Belle, how do you canvass the people as well when they're applying for the positions? Do you give them advice as to where they can, what jobs are available for them?
Yeah, sometimes some do ask, like, is there, say they're majoring in communications, they'll ask me, hey, like, do you know if there's going to be a couple of communications jobs? And if it's still early, I can let them know, okay, we have a few applicants from employers, but it really depends on once we do the selection committee and which employers get approved. But mostly I will like kind of let them know, like, hey, you might want to check out this job, or sometimes I might, if an employer is maybe having trouble finding applicants, like they posted, there's no one really applying, they can email me and then I will look through the list and reach out to certain students who I think might fit the criteria of working in that specific position.
That's great. Okay, we will be taking a short break right now, and when we return, we'll be continuing our conversation with Keisha and with Belle as well regarding the summer student program through Tewa.ca. I'm your host, Kahnawà Peggy Mayo Stand-Up. We will be right back. K103 Tewa.ca.
Tewa.ca is now accepting applications for the Kahnawà Summer Student Employment Program. The KSSEP covers 80% of wages and MERC subsidies for summer student jobs. Employer participation provides valuable work experience for our youth. Student and employer applications are available at tewa.ca/KSSEP. Employer application deadline is April 8th at 4 p.m. For more information, contact Keisha Goodleaf, Workforce Development Program Manager, at 450-638-4280.
You are listening to K103.7 Tewa.ca, and in our office, in our studio today, we have Keisha and we have Belle, and we'll continue the conversation regarding summer student employment through Tewa.ca and this program that they have. And as we ended the show, we talked about the minimum wage. Could you talk about that, Keisha, and give an update on it?
Yeah, for sure. So fortunately, the minimum wage is going to be going up to $14.25 as of May 1st. So this means that our minimum wage rates for the program this summer are going to be going up as well. So we have a level A, which is a part-time high school student. So this means that they're working 25 hours a week for 8 weeks. So their rate would be $14.25 per hour. Same thing for our level B. So this would be a full-time high school student, but they would be working 30 hours per week for 8 weeks, and it would be $14.25 per hour. Next, we have a CJEP student, so they actually earn a slightly higher hourly rate, so that would be $15.15 this year. And they're actually eligible to work for 10 weeks, but it's still 30 hours a week being a full-time. And our last level we have is for university students. So for them, they would earn $16.15 per hour. And they're eligible to work for up to 12 weeks during the summer. And the same thing, full-time, 30 hours a week. So it's just important to note that the hourly rates and the duration can actually be higher than what the program offers. So what I just mentioned is what the program covers, but it is possible that students and employers can negotiate a higher hourly salary or even a longer duration for the work measure. But just know that all these top-ups and extensions are at the expense of the employer, as the program only covers the minimum wages and duration.
Okay, and Belle, in regards to the employers meeting that you have planned coming up?
Yes, so this Wednesday we have the employer info session. We have two different sessions available. So there's the first one that's at 3 p.m. and then the second one will be at 6:30. So it's mainly just to get information on the program, how to apply. Really, if you're not too sure what a job description is or a work plan, we'll give examples of that. We'll even give tips on interviewing the students, how to supervise the students, really basic stuff like that if it's your first time applying to the program. So any interested employers can RSVP with Keisha via email to receive the link for the Zoom session. So her email is keisha.goodleaf@kedc.biz.
Okay, sounds great.
Yeah, so we decided to keep those information sessions virtual again this year because the feedback we got last year was that it was actually more convenient for employers to just be able to log on in the afternoon session if they're at work, or even in the evening when they're at home, that it was much more convenient for them to actually have it virtual, because we know business owners and employers are, really busy running their businesses, so it was pretty convenient for them to log on. So we'll be able to answer any questions as well that employers might have on the program. Myself, Belle, and we'll also have our workforce development coordinator, Karina Phillips, joining us as well for that information session. So again, the deadline for employers to submit their applications is 4 p.m. on Friday, April 8th. So to do so, they would fill out the online employer application form at www.tewa.ca/KSSEP. And they also have the option to attach the PDF version of their job posting and the work plan directly onto their online application form. There's a drop box at the bottom. If they're not able to do so, they can also just email me their job posting and their work plan after they submit their online application. So that would be emailed to myself again at keisha.goodleaf@kedc.biz.
And Belle, if anyone was going to ask you, what is your address to send them your email?
Yeah, so mine is bell.phillips@kedc.biz.
So right now, I believe that, they have the commercial on K103 right now playing in regards to it, and it's all over. It's online. I've seen it as well. And whoever's out there listening, hopefully that people are interested. I know a lot of students right now are presently obviously in school right now, but I know through the commercials and everything, and perhaps some that have already worked before, last year or the year before, and they're still in high school or going to college, I think this is the perfect opportunity for them to start looking and get a summer job, because for the rates that you mentioned, it's really amazing that the rates are going to like that amount of money, $14.25 as of May 1st. And it's quite amazing because when I started out work all those many years ago, the 70s, a long time ago, believe me, it was not that. It was like $1 something an hour. Imagine that. And now when you look at that, it's just amazing how we have grown and how we have progressed and everything. And sad to say, some people still work here for less than that, and we know that.
For sure.
And hopefully those things can change. But I think it changes with Tewa doing all the promotions. If you can talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, for sure. And we're fortunate this year as well because we're most likely going to be able to approve the same amount of jobs as we did last year. So last year we were able to approve 73 positions with the budget that we had for the program. 67 of those positions were filled, and that consisted of, I believe, 42 employers. So we do have some employers who apply for more than one position. And the way that we choose is we actually have a selection committee who goes through all of our employer applications, and we evaluate each one individually, and we approve them based on a selection criteria that we work with as well. So we have a committee for that. So we're hoping that this year we'll be able to approve around the same number of jobs, if not hopefully a little bit more. But the program really is a great opportunity. It really gives students and employers that opportunity to network and prepare for the future, and also gain that valuable work experience.
Well, at this time, we will be coming to the end of our show today. So if you want to repeat one more time how they can apply, the deadline, as you mentioned, is April the 8th.
Yep. So employers can visit our website at www.dewa.ca/KSSEP and fill out the online employer application form. At the bottom there, they can directly upload their PDF file of their job posting and their work plan. If not, they can email that to myself at keisha.goodleaf@kedc.biz. And again, if anyone is interested in attending our virtual employer information session that will be taking place this Wednesday, March 16th, we have one in the afternoon at 3 p.m. and another one at 6:30 p.m. And employers who are interested in attending can register and email myself at keisha.goodleaf@kedc.biz, and we'll be sending them the Zoom link the morning of.
And they can also reach Belle
Yep.
Belle, give you your address again, please.
Yeah,
your
so
email.
you can reach me at bell.phillips@kedc.biz, and it's B with the E at the end.
Okay. And also you can reach them at 450-638-4282. They will do the office, and you can leave messages and they will get back to you. So at this point, I'd like to thank you very much for coming in today and giving this very valuable information to the community. And hopefully the young people that are looking for jobs are going to hear it. So good luck to the program, and knowing that last year 67 people got jobs, that is wonderful. So keep the good work going.
Yeah,
Yawagowa, have a wonderful day. And at this time, I like to say the person coming on next after the break will be Dr. Gordon Rubin, who is retiring from Cattery Hospital after 35 years. So we'd like to say a very, very big Yawagowa to him and a big send-off. Paul, you will be conducting the interview. Yawagowa, everyone. See you again tomorrow. It's Gawineta Peggy Mayo Stand-Up. You're listening to K103.7 Deduwatara. 7 Deduwatara. 7 Deduwatara.